Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 10 Minutes of Your Time, a show where we sit down with your favorite people from all industries in sports and entertainment world. I'm your host, Josh Padgett, and in this show we sit down with them for just 10 minutes. That's right, just 10 minutes. Give them a quick glimpse of who we're at. Today, my special guest here is Ryan Nemeth, former WWE superstar, author, fitness instructor, comedian. I mean, you do it all. Actor.
That's a lot of stuff, yeah. It was very flattering. Some of your favorite people. I thought, I'm someone's favorite? Okay, great.
Oh, you know that you got people out there, man.
You said it has to be true, right?
Hey, you know what? After the 10 minutes, you'd probably be my favorite, too.
That's great.
You know? I'm got a good vibe right now, a good feeling.
Good.
Now, the folks at home can find you at Hot Young Briley.
Twitter, Hot Young Briley, yeah.
On Twitter, right? You Instagram, too?
Instagram is Ryan Nemeth. It's a little more adorable of a name.
Nem, like N-E-M?
N-E-M, yeah. Ryan Nemeth.
Nice, nice. So basically, Ryan, you get you 10 minutes.
Okay.
10 minutes, and you know, then we're gonna have you move along because I know you're a busy man out here in Hollywood.
You too.
Hey, man, we're trying, man. We're just hustling, right?
Yeah, just trying to just not think about the sad stuff. Just keep going and going.
So, Ryan, I want to ask you.
Okay.
You ready to give the world 10 minutes of your time?
I am ready to give the world 10 minutes of whatever they want.
All right, all right.
And if you're the medium through how this happens, let's do it.
All right, here it goes. Now, Ryan, you made your start into the world of wrestling there with FCW and stuff.
Yes.
You were Hot Young Briley, right? Briley Pierce?
I was.
So what got you started in wrestling? Was it from your brother, your older brother?
That's a huge part of it. Yeah, we grew up as a family who spent time together watching The Simpsons and watching wrestling. That was kind of how we bonded. And I was on the track of either pursuing comedy or pursuing what I thought would be a nice career in wrestling. And seeing my brother do that, he was in developmental and OVW, so I was not too far away. I would go see him wrestle on Wednesdays and Saturdays and whatever day, you know. And I thought, when I go to those shows, I thought, this is a forum to be entertaining and physical and make a crowd hate you or love you, and this is something maybe I'll follow someday. And I decided not to, moved to Chicago, started doing improv pretty hard, and after a little while of that, thought, I have to give this a shot. I have to pursue wrestling. So I followed exactly in his footsteps, moved to Louisville, Kentucky, signed up at wrestling school at OVW, and it was no turn back. It was that. It was like 24 hours a day. That's all it was for me, wrestling nonstop. Nice,
nice. And you know, like, in wrestling is like one of the last forms of like traveling theater nowadays. And,
yeah, I agree completely. Yeah.
And so how did your training in improv and everything like help you with your performance as a wrestler?
Tremendously, hugely. It was a huge step above everyone else because I could talk, I could perform. I was, you know, it's a different art form, so it's not like you're going to go into it being good at a wrestling promo, but I had confidence. I knew how to speak. I knew how to get people's attention, and that helped huge, especially during my tryout with WWE, or tryouts with WWE. My promos, I was so new to wrestling that the skill was not there yet, the experience wasn't there yet, but the speaking was like hugely there. So that helped a ton.
And would you say like that's one of the most important skill sets that a superstar wrestler would need nowadays?
I think the biggest skill you need to have these days is having Triple H think you're great. But second to that is probably being good at talking. Yeah,
of course. Nice. And so now you're here in LA. You moved here. How long have you been here in LA? I
have been here. It's probably been a year and a half. Maybe it's every day is the same. So
right. It all molds together.
It's all the same. Yeah.
it's beautiful every day, people. It's terrible.
It might be Christmas today. It might be Thanksgiving. I have no idea.
We would never know.
Yeah, you don't know.
It's no different.
Yeah.
So now when you're here, have you been getting back into improv? You're doing acting out here as well, right?
I've been doing a ton of improv. I perform. Sometimes I don't know I have a show, and someone will text me, "Hey, we got to be there at this time." I go, "Oh, I have a show tonight. Great," which is awesome. It sounds like I'm scatterbrained, but it's just so much, which is great. Second City, UCB, IO, some other smaller places. We've been doing shows at people's houses too, which is kind of cool, more casual. Yeah,
I mean, it must be. Like improv is just it's so scary looking, right? You know, whose line is it anyway? It must be terrifying. Yeah. Do you find that as scary as performing live in front of people wrestling?
The worst thing that can happen in improv is someone won't laugh. the worst thing that can happen in wrestling is you could die. So
This is true. This is true. Okay, yeah. The stakes aren't as high.
they're not as high. Yeah.
So you've been bred. Like, I mean, I know millions of actors out here trying to do improv and stuff must be just scared to death. But you coming from deathmatch arenas where every day, where you could die any night, it's not that big a deal.
The worst thing that happens to me physically now is I'm kind of physical on stage just because, you know, I feel comfortable doing that. My pants have ripped open like 5 different times. I would say the last 6 months, once per month, I've destroyed a pair of pants on stage doing improv. And so now, if that's the worst thing that can happen to me, the worst in wrestling that could happen is you could break your leg.
Probably not a bad thing for the audience, though, seeing you rip your pants.
Nobody ever notices, but I go, I'm doing something, I hear, and I go, ah, man, I have to buy new pants again. So I got these new pants, which I think, they look like black slacks, but they're very stretchy, like just a little bit. You can kind of pull them, and I was thinking this could be the perfect improv pant.
You got to, you got to take it easy on the squats and the deadlifts, man. That's the problem. Yeah. Now you're a fitness instructor out here too, right?
I'm also I'm working in fitness. I'll train a lot of actors, writers, musicians, that kind of thing. So it's just you're always plugged into entertainment one way or another. And it's awesome. Yeah.
And you're writing a fitness book right now as well. And like, what's the difference between like with your fitness book versus everyone else's? Because there's a lot of information out there right now for fitness.
A lot of information, and a lot of it's so boring. I hate to say this. If you've written a fitness book, congratulations, but it's so boring. I've read all of them, and none of them can keep my attention. There's a lot of good information, but it's presented as a textbook. So my fitness book is called Hard Body, How to Be a Hard Body. And I include a lot of my old wrestling friends. I have my brother, Dolph Ziggler's in there, Seth Rollins, Ryback, Zack Ryder, all these guys and girls, Charlotte, and a lot of NXT former friends of mine. And I also have screenwriters, and just if hard body to me doesn't mean you're jacked and have the six-pack. It could. Just means you excel at a certain discipline. So Max Landis, screenwriter, I have him in there. I think he excels at writing. He's a hard body of writing. Not a hard body physically, but, you know. So I get their take on fitness, their experiences with it, and hopefully the reader can read this and go, oh, here's how Seth Rollins, the champion of the world, works out. Got it. Maybe that'll apply to me. Maybe it won't. But also it's going to be funny. So I'm throwing in my typical Briley Pierce sense of humor, kind of making fun of the gym culture of selfies nonstop and all that. So it's a fitness book that you'll laugh at, and it's not going to be boring.
Awesome. So all these guys are going to be in the book, like giving their testimonies and stuff?
Yeah, and I'm very grateful to all of them. I've kind of been bugging them the last 3 or 4 months, and everyone's slowly been emailing me and their things. And some people have just given me, like, here's my favorite exercise and gym song, done. Some people have written me giant essays, so it's a pretty cool thing.
And this isn't your first book you've written either, right? You wrote a fiction book as well?
I wrote I Can Make Out With Any Girl Here, which sounds like a dating book, but it's not. It's about a college freshman who, you know, it's his first year away at school. He's not as smart as you want him to be, and he just gets involved in any kind of trouble on college campus you can imagine. Fires, dating your teacher, cheating, all of it.
And how'd you come up with a character like that? Did you know anybody like that?
It's pure fantasy, yeah. It's pure fantasy.
all in this mind right here, right? Well, that's great. Now, so what about stunt training? Have you done any stunt work out here too? I mean, obviously coming from the wrestling world and now comedy and improv and acting. Have you ever thought about doing anything like that?
I have. Sometimes if I'm working on a set and I'll see the stunt guy come in and I'll see how easy the stunts usually are. It's usually not jumping off a building. It's usually just like hopping somewhere or something. Right. Yeah, it's on my mind for sure. We'll see.
Nice, nice. And so with your busy schedule, you're writing and you're acting all the time. How do you talked about discipline, how that's like the #1 thing for staying fit. Mm-hmm. How do you stay disciplined? What is your secret?
We all, you know, go through bouts of not being disciplined. There's times when I don't want to work out for a week. Okay, you get worn out. You just have to get back to it, find whatever's making you bored or get sick of it and it feels like the same day over and over again, just change it. So for me, that means working out at different places if we're talking about fitness, or if writing at, you know, different locations, different times of day. Just don't be afraid to mix it up. Don't be a slave to routine. Some people function better that way. I need things to change all the time.
Right, right. And that tricks your body, right, out of the
brain,
getting out of plateau and stuff. What about for the skinny fat guys out there?
Skinny fat guys, if you think you're eating healthy because you're eating just Greek yogurt all the time, because it's a fun word to say, beware. Try something different. Whatever you're doing, mix it up.
So you're saying Skinny fat guys need to eat more.
Eat more. Yeah.
Eat more, lift more.
I think the number one thing you can do if you're skinny fat or on the verge of becoming skinny fat and it's a concern to you, and if you're happy with it, that's fine. In about a month, pick up my book, How to Be a Hard Body, and that's for everybody, really. If you have a question about fitness, romance, career, how to raise children, you want to get this book.
And where are they going to find this book in a month?
This book will be available in all digital formats. It'll be on Amazon. It'll be available on Kindle. You can probably just download the PDF, all that stuff.
Nice. All right, Bradley. Well, we're at the last minute of the 10 minutes. Oh, no. Are you ready for the lightning round?
This is the hard part, right? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. We're going to put your improv skills to the test. Okay. Now, PBJ or a BLT sandwich?
PBJ. Easy.
Oh, nice. Arnold or Sly?
Arnold.
Nice. What?
Oh, Frank Stallone. I like him, too.
Ooh, Frank Stallone.
I see him at Gold's all the time.
Oh, yeah? He was in Tombstone. He did a great part in the beginning of that movie.
He's still pretty jacked, man.
Right. Speaking of that, what's your favorite Western movie?
Lee Van Cleef. Anything he's in with Clint Eastwood. Good, Bad, the Ugly.
Ooh, nice. Last person in wrestling you talked to?
My brother 8 minutes ago.
Nice. Last time you had ice cream?
Last time I had ice cream was about 10 days ago. It was a thing this big, and it was all me. I didn't share it with anybody.
Nice. Gains. Winter, spring, summer, or fall? Obviously, they don't exist here.
Yeah, it's all the same here. I like summer and winter. I don't like the in-betweens.
Nice.
One or the other, man.
Better dinner, Christmas or Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving.
Best place to waste your money, a strip club or Vegas? Casino.
Sure. Strip club, you're not going to win anything. You might,
but at least you can win some titties, right?
You said it, not me. Sure, yeah.
And the 405 or the 101 out here, and which one's the worst highway?
Worst? For me, the 101 is much worse.
You spend more time on the 101?
405 seems like it's moving all the time. 101 sometimes I'm just sitting there. Yeah,
it's terrible.
It's a strip club. You could eat food too. They sometimes have really good food.
You can eat at the casino.
Okay.
Get free drinks.
All right.
Can you get free drinks at a strip club? I've never been.
Sometimes you can't drink at all there. You can bring your own though. Sometimes.
Keep it packing.
You know, I used to live in Tampa. That was the strip club capital of the galaxy, I think.
For sure.
Yeah.
Why all the wrestlers like to move there?
I can't speak for anyone else.
Well, thank you so much, Matt. Ryan, thank you for coming in here today. I'm Josh Padgett. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.